Hey, diversity leader, HR leader, have you gone ahead and set up your group? Because now I want to talk to you about that women's group that you set up. Definitely needed, but I want you to think a little deeper about that group. Because with women, it's not a one size fit all. There are so many different dynamics that are impacting women that are coming into your organization. And so, for instance, I'm going to give you just 3 different categories that you want to look at. I might even give you a bonus, so stay tuned. So the first one is, I want you to think about the women of color in your organization. The women of color, each one of those groups have a very, very, very different work experience. The African American or the Black women in your group definitely have a different experience from the Asian women, the Latina women, and definitely from the white women. Most of those groups that are set up actually have the white woman in mind. They don't say it, but that's what they're envisioning, because it's usually her issues, her concerns, her problems that group is tackling, which are very different from the African American woman who basically, when she walks into the room, immediately is an outsider. She's a double outsider when they see her. You also have a very different when we're talking about women from Asian backgrounds or women from Latina backgrounds, because they also sometimes have the language concern, and it's not that they may perhaps don't even speak English, or if English is not their first language, but there's an assumption that there's something wrong with their English. There is assumption if they actually still maintain their dialect from or their tonation from their country of birth, that they're not speaking proper English. This is a barrier that they face that other women perhaps may not face. And these kind of things your employee resource group for women have to address. Then you also want to think about your hourly employees. Too many times in our employee resource groups, we are talking about things that never ever come close to impacting what's going on with our hourly employees and how we can get them to move through the ranks. Consider their employees and see how you can actually build them in. And then the last one, I want you to think about those women who are not sitting in headquarters. How do you get them involved? How do you give them projects? How do you get them to get the opportunities to shine when they are not in the headquarters, or they're not in front of leadership, and they're not experiencing the same opportunities the women that's in your group? So think about that as you have created your women's resource group. Who have you left behind, and how can you bring them in? I'd love to hear from you. What are you doing in your women's resource group to make it more effective?